faggot! Do you want to go from this to this? Well, look no further, 'cause you're in the right place. Too easy. In this series, you'll be trained to become the hardest, the baddest, the most feared soldier Tarkov has ever seen. You will crawl, you will sweat, and you will most definitely bleed. Now stop crying and get in line, Timmy. Class is in session. The Tarkov Teacher is about to begin.
And now finally moving over to the stash section. Guys, I do not stress this enough. Half of the time you are going to play Tarkov is gonna be in this here screen. Not in raid, not running around, not shooting, but fucking playing Tetris with all the shit in your stash. Now the stash size that you have is directly influenced by the stash module that you have in your hideout. So you have two options to upgrade the stash module in your hideout. Either play the game and just do it regularly, or just upgrade your game edition. I have Edge of Darkness. It already comes with the maximum level stash. Unheard Edition, which now replaces Edge of Darkness, has the maximum stash plus some lines. You can also buy lines directly from the BSG website. It's like a microtransaction, but it's gonna add more lines to your stash. If you ask me personally, you don't really need to buy stash lines. The game offers a lot of containers and you can just pack all your shit into containers. But if you're really struggling with finding containers or paying for them and you just have an enormous amount of stash that you're hoarding, you can just buy some lines. Doesn't hurt anybody but your wallet, and it supports BSG, so why the hell not? And now that we got this out of the way, let's talk stash. 3 currencies of the game are always shown at the top here, and they are derived from the amount of money you have in your stash. Rotating items is possible by holding left click on them and pressing the R button. You can even rotate one slaughters, which makes no sense. Every time you pick up an item, corresponding and compatible items will glow green. For example, these mags correspond with this bullet, these mags will correspond with this bullet, these ones did not glow because they are full, these mags are compatible with this bullet, this scope is compatible with this mount, and this mount with the scope is compatible with this sniper. As you can see, this pistol and this MP5 both have a full mag inside of them, but yet when we pick up this 9mm bullet, they glow green. And why is that? Is because their chamber is empty at the moment, so we can even fill up the chamber so we don't have to do it in raid. Also, containers will glow yellow if they can fit an item you have picked up. If an item you picked up cannot go in said container, it will not glow. Also meaning that containers which are full, like this commander rig, won't glow and cannot fit anything else. Adding attachments to weapons might change their size. For example, this MDR does not have a pistol grip. If we put a pistol grip on it, it's gonna be twice the size. It's also important to note that if there's an item in the way of the MDR growing when we attach the pistol grip, it just won't let you until you move said item. It can also happen with the edges of the stash itself. As you can see, we cannot add this pistol grip until we move this over here. Stacking backpacks is a great way to conserve space. Also notice that you can only have 4 windows open at the same time. Opening a new one will close the oldest one. Now this right here is a stack of 7 tea bags. You can only stack up to 7. So putting this tea bag into this won't be possible. And also, as you can see, for a new player, the stash looks like a horrible piece of shit. So to prevent your stash from looking like a mess, let's start with the options we have down here. These 2 blue arrows are the auto sort option. Let's say we take this gun and some magazines onto the PMC, and we want to close this gap, but we don't want to start dragging up here and start closing it like so. It's just taking time, and time is precious because we're all gonna die soon anyways. So what you want to do is you want to press these 2 blue arrows and press yes, and then it's gonna auto sort your shit just like so. And now you're probably asking, but what if some items I don't want them to move when I auto sort? Let's say I love this grizzly right here. I don't want this grizzly to move no matter what I do. Even if I take these magazines and I auto sort, this grizzly better not move. Lucky for you, there's the pinning option. You can either press here and press the grizzly, or you can press P on your keyboard and then press the grizzly. Mind you that after pressing the items that you wanted to pin, you have to press the pin again by pressing P or pressing the icon. Otherwise, anytime you click an item, it's gonna accidentally pin it. So you have to stop pinning stuff. And now, when we're gonna auto sort, the grizzly doesn't move. Amazing. Now the good thing about pinned items is you can move them by yourself and they will stick to wherever you put them. The next option we have is locked items. It's like pin but stronger. Locked items, like this one, work by pressing lock or L on your keyboard. Same thing as pin, you gotta stop locking when you finished. Now locked items cannot be moved, unlike pinned items. They can't be discarded by accident, and you cannot give them by accident to a trader or sell them by accident. They can also not be used. For example, this water bottle, if we lock it, we can't use it anymore. And also, it will not be auto sorted. Moving onwards to the next stash functions that we have. As you can see, we have categories over here. Now once they were useful, now not so much. Let me show you why. Let's say we want to categorize by medications. So we're going to press the meds. As you can see, it grayed out. It made everything which isn't meds unavailable for clicking, inspecting. I can't even open the drop-down menu, but it's still kind of hard to find them because the difference between being grayed out to not grayed out in Tarkov is kind of confusing. Food, even worse, because you still have to look for the food. It doesn't really help you find the item, so it's kind of bad. And why I'm saying it's not useful anymore is that because we now have the search feature. Also, if you press something, you can't unpress it. You have to press on the Alt again if you want to move items. So as I was saying, now we have the magnificent search system, which works like you would want the categories to work. So you open the search and you can see this is all, and it has the pages. This is all of your shit, and it has options: search and stash, search on the player. And now let's say we want to find meds. So we're gonna press on the meds category in the search section, just like so. Boom. This is what you would have expected pressing meds here. So now as you can see, you have all the meds sectioned out like this, and you can just drag and drop from this menu onto your character, and they're gonna be disappearing from their appropriate places inside your actual stash. So this feature is a godsend. It's just amazing. As you can see, it's working very good, and you can find the items from the category that you're looking for. And to make stuff even nicer, you have a search bar. If you know the name of the item that you're looking for, you can just type it in, let's say an M67 grenade, and it's gonna find it. Even if you only type M and then 6, it's gonna already find. The search bar works very well, and I'm gonna show you how well it works. Almost all items have shortened name next to them. For example, the Stanag mag is called the AR-15 blah, but here it's called Stanag. But Stanag is still in the full name of the item, so it's gonna be obvious that if you write Stanag, it's gonna be found. But for example, this here melee item is called the Kiba Arms Tactical Tomahawk, and the short name is Cat. But Cat isn't really in the name. So the good thing is you can also look for shortened names and it's still gonna find it. The options you have here is search in containers. If you untoggle this, anything which is inside a backpack or a rig will not show up. And you don't want that because you're gonna have a shit ton of containers sorting all your stuff. So you wanna keep this toggled on. Also, you can toggle on search in locked item contents. And another cool feature is search in item components. And what does that mean? So let's say we're searching for this EOTech 553 holographic sight. We're going to the search, we're doing 553, and we can't seem to find it because it's on the gun. Now if we toggle search in item components, it won't immediately show us the item, it will show us the item that holds the item that we're searching for. So then we can just press inspect or double click, and here we go, we have found the site we were looking for. So here you go, this is the search function. It's a lifesaver. Guys, if you're watching this video, you probably never played Tarkov before this was introduced. It was hell on earth managing your stash, finding your items. It was just very difficult. Now it's easy peasy. Utilize this as much as possible and you won't be disappointed. The last function we have over here is the sorting table. This is basically free real estate stash space that you can work around with. But remember, this is not extra stash space. You will have to eventually put the items back. So it's good for sorting. If you have too much shit in your stash and you don't have space, you can just open the sorting table, put some stuff from your PMC while you rotate stuff around, and then drag them here. If you press escape on the sorting table while it has items, you're just gonna simply drop them where there's available space. If there's no available space in your stash, it won't let you close the sorting table until you found some space or made some space. And from here, I'm gonna jump straight to shortcuts. There are very important shortcuts you must know. For example, Alt left click on any item is gonna immediately equip it on your PMC. So I'm holding the Alt button, clicking this M4, clicking this commander rig, clicking this Parka armor. Next up we got control plus left click. Control left click puts items from the stash onto your PMC and vice versa. And what do I mean by that? Now I'm holding left control. Let's say I want to press this grenade, I'm gonna just left click it, it goes onto my PMC. This bandage, for example, goes onto my PMC. This gun, it won't be equipped because I'm putting it into inventory, not into equipment slot. Equipment slot is Alt plus left click, and into the inventory slots is control click. Now the same works vice versa. If I have stuff on my PMC that I want to put in the stash, I can just hold control and left click them away into the stash. As simple as that. It's also important to notice that some items have priority into where they go. Launcher clicking grenades will put them in your pockets on default. After there's no more pocket space, it's gonna start putting them in the tactical rig. It does so because you throw grenades out of the pockets or the tactical rig. Same goes for magazines. Magazines by default go into your tactical rig. Even one slaughter mags like this one go into your tactical rig. If there's no more space, they're gonna prioritize the pockets. And when there's no more space anywhere, everything is gonna go into the backpack. Now weirdly enough, you would expect meds to go into a tactical rig or pockets, but they actually go into the backpack. I don't know why. Why are they not prioritized over here? Beats me, it's just the way it is. The left control shortcut has another utilization for it. It is also used to split stacks. Now the only things which are relevant to splitting stacks are bullets and currencies, because those are the only things which are stacked. So by holding left control and dragging the item somewhere else you want to split it to, is going to open the split menu. The default is always going to be half, but you can either type in numbers over here, or you can just drag this thingy over here. As simple as that. And the last shortcut we have is for the sorting table. Shift left click puts stuff in the sorting table, but it's only working when the sorting table is obviously open, just like so. And from here, you can control click them back into the stash. They won't be controlled clicked into your PMC, they will go back to the stash from the sorting table. The Alt left click and the Control left click shortcuts are also available in Raid, and they're very important to utilize. Let's imagine we found this here Chad. He has much better gear than we have, and we don't want to get blasted while looting him. So we can just discard all of our items real fast and start Alt clicking from him. Throw away our rig. Alt click his shit. Throw away our backpack. Alt click his backpack. Forgot that you have a mag for your gun in the security rig you just threw away? Control click it. Just like so. Now mind you, you cannot put anything in an unsearched container, so you do have to press search before you do it. Next up we got priority windows. And what do I mean by priority windows? Well, let's say I have this backpack. It is filled with shit, and I have this backpack which is empty. I want to move stuff from this backpack over here, but I don't have all day to drag and drop like so. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna utilize the control left click shortcut to move items around. But you said that control left click is only for putting stuff on your PMC, like this. Well, there's a certain thing called priority window. Spyglass? That's how you call it? As you can see, there's a little spyglass here. This one is white. The priority window is always being yellow. So you can click on this, make this a priority window. Clicking back will make this the priority window. Now, what does a priority window even mean? If the priority window is the one we're putting items out of, it is gonna control click them onto the PMC. And if we're control clicking stuff from the PMC while we have a priority window open, is gonna control click them into the priority window, not into the stash, and not into any other window which is currently open. So the priority of the items being control clicked is going into the mechanism backpack. So as you might understand from that, if we want to move items from the mechanism backpack to the day pack, we have to open both of them and then click the day pack to create a priority window for it, and we're gonna control click the items from the mechanism into the day pack, just like so. And anything from the PMC will also go here, just like so. Clicking it back with control will put it on the PMC. Basically meaning that if you control click stuff from a priority window is the same as control clicking items from the stash itself. It will always by default go to your PMC. Also, you're gonna know what's the priority window because it's gonna be the one on top. Next up, we got the drop down menu. Right clicking with your mouse any item, no matter if it's in the stash, on your PMC, is gonna show you a drop down menu just like this. Also, as you might have noticed, every item has different drop down options. They're not all the same. Some items have different stuff. Weapons have a lot of stuff going on, armors have less, foods have the use button, meds also, some even have insure. So what does it all mean? Now the top option is inspect, and it's going to open the information of said item. Now it's good to note that inspecting an item by double clicking or right clicking and inspecting will show you all the drop down menu options right over here. And if it's a gun, it's also going to show you all the items that are currently attached to that gun. Every item in the game has stats and debuffs or buffs that you can only see while inspecting the item. Now be careful because some items have the use option, and if you're in raid and you have in your game settings by default the double click item quick use in raid only, and you want to inspect, let's say, this morphine, so you double click it in raid, not in the stash but in the raid, it's gonna just quick use it instead of showing you this. So you have to be careful. If you have this on you in the raid and you see the use option and you want to inspect, don't double click it because it's just going to use the item. So just do this. You can also just remove this option completely. No double clicking for quick item use. Although I do not recommend because double clicking works wonders. The bullets have an option to top up. That means that the stack is not full. A full stack is 60 or 50 or 20 or 40 depending on the bullet type. So if you have the option to top up, it means that this is not complete and you have spare bullets which you can combine to make it a whole stack. So you press top and you can see it took the 30 stack from here into here. This is used when you take like 30 bullets on your guy and you're like, damn, I need more of this bullet. And instead of going and dragging more bullets onto it or looking for more bullets of the same type, you can just right click and top up. Now stuff that you can equip on your character's gear slots will have the equip option. So you right click a gun and you press equip and it's gonna tell you, bro, you don't have any slots. But just so you know, you can do it like this too. I won't recommend, I never really do it, but it's an option. Next up we got the insure button. There will be an insurance tab when you're going to raid, so you don't have to manually insure every single item, but it does appear as an option. Magazines also have the unload ammo. If they're full, you can unload ammo. If they're not full, you can load ammo and then choose from the ammo kinds you have. Right now we have only this kind, so we can just load ammo. Even if the magazine is half full, or as the pessimists might say, half empty, you have both options. Either remove these bullets or add some bullets on top of them, just like so. Now another cool options that magazines have is called load from preset. At the beginning you will not have presets, so you create a new preset. This means that you can combine and make a certain specific order for different kinds of bullets inside your magazine, because each caliber has a lot of different kinds of ammunition. For example, we currently have these two kinds of bullets for this caliber that goes to the M4. But what if I want to mix them up? I won't divide and put one bullet at a time, right? I'm gonna create a preset. So this one is always gonna be the bottom bullet, this one is always gonna be the top bullet, and this is a cycle, a loop you might say, that's gonna be between those bullets. Now it's not necessary to do do a bottom bullet and a top bullet, you can just loop bullets. So you're gonna choose out of all the options, you'll have only this and this. So right now, this preset is gonna put us an M855 and an RRLP on repeat, one by one. We can do 2 and 1, so it's gonna put 1, 1, 2 until the mag is full. And as you can see, you can do it with 3 different types of bullets. So you can mishmash any combination of 3 and maybe even 5 bullets, but the top and the bottom won't really loop inside the middle. They're only gonna be on the bottom and the top into your mag. So right now, let's go for this here thing. We're gonna name it mag 1 and we're gonna save the preset like so. And now we can load from preset and it's gonna be mag 1. So this is a very unique way to fill up your mags quickly with a very diverse ammunition variety instead of just dumping them like this in bulk. Another cool feature that almost only magazines have is the tag system. You can tag a magazine like this with a color and a name, and if you have a different kind of variation, and if you have 2 magazines and one has your favorite preset and one just a regular ass magazine and you don't know which because they look the same, you can tag a magazine with a name and then you'll know that the good bullets are here and this is just an extra mag. The other item in the game that you can put a tag on is containers, and I'm not talking about backpacks and rigs, I'm talking about boxes for your gear. For example, this here junk box. This is a container. If you open it, you see that it has a lot of slots. I'm gonna talk about containers some other time. Now, anything that can be repaired in the game, which is basically only armored gear and weapons, will also have the repair option right here. And you can choose how you want to repair it. There's 3 guys that are repairing, they all repair differently and the prices vary. And if you have an armor repair kit or a corresponding weapon repair kit, you can also just choose it and repair it yourself for free. Next up, we're gonna talk about something which is unique only for weapons, the right-click disassemble option. You do this and it basically strips all the parts which are directly connected to the gun itself. The gun itself is considered the action section, as you might call it, in the gun. The trigger mechanism and the firing mechanism. It doesn't disassemble the entirety of the gun, because as you can see, the barrel still has a muzzle flash and this handguard still has the front sight on it. But it does strip all of the attachments from the gun itself. Now, as you can see, weapons also have the modding and the edit build options. We're not going to talk about right now. This is for modding your guns. It's going to go to the gun episode of this series. The next 4 drop-down options we will not discuss this episode because they are reserved for trading and flea market. I'm talking, of course, about the add offer, filter by item, linked search, and required search. Next up, we got the add to wishlist option. There's categories. They don't really matter. The point is, when you set something to be wishlisted, every time you pick it up, you're gonna have a notification in RAID. Of course, you can change that in the settings. To remove something from the wishlist, you just have to do remove from wishlist. The last option is discard. Discarding something while in the stash and not in the RAID will just permanently delete the item. It's important to note that the drop-down menu of items inside the raid is way more limited for you are in a raid and not in the safety of your stash. If you go to your handbook, you'll have all the items in the game that you know about, because some items you don't know about by default and you'll have to find them and examine them. But when you start out, you have all these items already examined by default. What is an unexamined item, for example? Well, if you go to traders and to therapist, you can see that some stuff are marked as unknown and grayed out. But if you want to inspect them and add them to the handbook and know what this is all about, we can either right click and examine or just middle mouse button on the item, just like so. And now we have the information about the item, we know exactly how it looks, and it's also gonna appear in our handbook. For every item you examine, you're gonna have a notification that you have a new entry in your handbook. And now we have this under mechanical keys, we have these 2 items. If you want to remove this without going and clicking every item, you can just click the number and it's gonna disappear and you won't have this amazing green notification. Now guys, I know this episode was on the longer side of things, but you just can't imagine how important is stash knowledge in this game. You actually spend half of your game, almost I would say between 40 to 50% of your game time is being spent gearing up your PMC, managing your stash, thinking what you should sell and what you should throw away. So the more knowledge you have on how to do those actions, the faster you're gonna do them, and the less time you're gonna be spending managing your stash, and the more time you're gonna be blasting bad guys. So I think that's about it. If you think that I missed something or have any questions, do drop them down in the comments below. And as always, have a great whatever time you're having. I'm Infected One. Peace.